Hey, what is going on with you guys? You know who it is your favorite Roblox. I am kidding, I am not a block. But it is of course Sub-Zero Exabyte coming in clutch with another video for you guys today, and today we are of course doing something else. Like always, I mean, it is not always the same slice of bread with this guy. I am not sure if that is an actual thing that people say, but I will start using it until the people are taking it over and making it the new slang. So you heard it here first. It is like a little premiere, but we are of course not here to talk about making new types of street slang. No, we are here to destroy some cars. And yes, that might sound just a little bit dangerous, but I am telling you that this will probably become the most fun thing that I have done in a while. And I do a lot of fun things for a living. So we are about to hit this wall and we will abort the action because we do not want to have a fatal accident at around 3 miles an hour. That would actually be kind of tragic right at the beginning of the video. But all kidding aside, of course this is not all fun and games, because doing this kind of tests to a car will make sure that the cars are able to being operated in a safely manner. So you know the reason why I am not staying inside of the car is because I do not trust these cars and I would rather be safe than sorry. And of course I would like to keep my head on top of my neck and not somewhere else. And now that the car is almost completely demolished, we can say with the utmost certainty that this car has surpassed all of its safety tests and it is able to go out on the road and live a free and happy lifestyle as a new modern car. But then again, it just got completely ruined, so I'm guessing that that is not in the best interest of that car. Maybe we should take it to a hospital and help it rehabilitate into the real world, but that might just be something for another video of a day in the car of Sub-Zero. So we got ourselves this really cool looking car, and by cool looking I mean really awesome and really cool looking. Actually, that was just it. I just think that this is an amazing car. I love the old Ford Mustang designs. I love muscle cars in general because, you know, of course, as you can see, I do have a lot of muscle, so I feel like this is the only type of car that I can actually relate to. So let's just leave it at that before some people start hate commenting about my looks, while I know darn well that I look like a miniature version of Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, but then more like the scientist Bruce Banner than the actual Hulk, because I have a little less muscle definition than he has. But all of that aside, it is time to demolish this car and actually do what I am getting paid for here before my Uncle Mario starts yelling at me in Italian while I do not even know a word of Italian. But then again, he always sounds really angry because he speaks Italian and really fast, and most Italians love to speak with their hands and arms, so he is like waving his arms around like one of those inflatable balloon things at car parks when he speaks. So the first demolition of the day will be execution by boulder. Oh man, this is going to be great. Have you ever seen something like this? So here it comes, and look it out, patient rolling in, and there comes the boulder, and ouch, that must be really painful. But of course we are not here to reconcile with the patients. No, we are just here to move out orders that are made by my beloved godfather and Uncle Mario 0 Exabyte. Yes, that is actually his name, and that is why my name might sound so weird. And that is because it is actually Italian, so you have to like give it a little finesse when you pronounce it. But I do not even have that under control, so I will just leave my Italian heritage out of all of this. But I know that you guys might be wondering, like, what has my Italian uncle to do with any of this in the video? Well, as I said, my Italian uncle is the owner of this place. It is like a crematorium for cars. It is the morgue for cars, and he owns it, and I used to come work here during the summer so that I could scrape together some money which I would blow on PC games and more stuff like that. It was a good time, even though my uncle always sound really mad at me. But like always, we have bigger fish to fry, and by bigger I this time actually mean bigger, because this car is called a limousine and they come in a size XXL, so you know, it has something to do with celebrities and compensating for their lack of a lot of stuff, but I will not go into that in any details. Now you might still be wondering, like, well, Sub-Zero, why are you still working here when you make your money by having a YouTube channel? Well, that actually is a great question asked by me, so thank you Sub-Zero for that one. You are welcome, Sub-Zero. But my uncle usually works all on his own, and this time of the year with all the snow and the ice on the roads, there are a lot more cars rolling in here to go to their final resting place, which is the machine with the claws or the boulder, or just that one machine that folds it like a house of cards. And so since the constant supply of cars is getting higher, he asked me, his cousin, to come help him out, and he said that I could just record and film here, so that is all covered, and I am just performing him a nice gesture when it comes to the family business. And now I say that it is the family business, but like I said before, He is usually doing this all by himself and one his lonesome because he does not want to split the profits and keep it all to himself just like I would do actually. So I guess that this shows that we are in the same kind of family and he is my true bloodline. So by helping him out I am actually making sure that I stay in contact with my family, which I of course find very important because family is key to a healthy life. And of course I can just shoot some awesome videos for you guys while I am doing that, so that is basically a win for me and a win for you, and that is what I am all about, to just entertain the masses and make sure that every single one of you guys is happy, and I am just here trying to make that seem possible. Of course being a happy little bugger is a lot easier to be when you are just demolishing cars all day, and I can get into that, but you do not need that to be happy. I mean, if you can watch my videos and be happy, then more power to you, man. So that is what I would call another job well done, and I hope that my uncle thinks the same about it, because otherwise he will be coming up to me with his 5'6" and start yelling at me like I am some kind of stop sign or something. Again, that did not make any sense, but I am trying to make the slang become a thing, alright? So please do not rain on my parade right now, just like my uncle usually does when I am doing a lot of great things and he is just out there yelling at me like a bulldog trying to eat the raindrops in a rainstorm. I am sure that at least one of these analogies will start to become a thing someday. I am 100% positive on it. But let's get up here and see what kind of a smoothie we can go make out of this APC, because it looks like it can actually pack a decent punch, but I guess we will see how this thing will stand up against these claws of death. Let's just drive this thing into that claw machine and turn this green metal heap into some pesto now, shall we? That was actually a pretty darn good analogy, alright you guys. Sometimes you just have to cut me some slack and give me some credit because of the effort that I am putting into this. I mean, it is not always easy to come up with these things, especially when I do these kinds of things on a daily basis and try to make the most out of it. And with that said, of course I will actually have to make the most out of it, just like I have to get the most out of this tank right here, because you know we do all sorts of demolition jobs. We range from nice little Pontiacs to tanks, and sometimes we even do some house demos, and sometimes we do some factory demos. We just do a lot of demolitions because we have a passion for the job, and just because we are all guys around here, and you know that guys love to destroy stuff. That is just something that is set into our human DNA, and there's nothing that we can change about that anytime soon. But of course there are also women who love doing these types of things, so please do not feel left out when I say stuff like that, because of course I also appreciate all of the women around here a great freaking lot. So now let's say goodbye to this tank and let the good times roll. Yes, I stole that line from Fall Out Boy, their hit song called Thanks for the Memories. It is just an amazing song, okay? Please do not start fooling around with my music taste, because sometimes we all need some time off of that rap and all of that EDM dance music thing and just listen to some rock and get it all out there. So if you are listening to all of that music, rock on, brother and sister and grandma, because my grandma actually loves Fall Out Boy. It is insane, I know. Oh dear lord, this is some type of thing right here. This tank is getting completely crushed right now, just like my heart after that Shrek girl ran away from me with another guy while we were having a lovely dinner at one of my favorite Italian places, and now I have not been ever since. But you know what they say about a breakup? It is always good to heal a heartbreak by breaking a tank or two, and that is not really something they say, but again I am trying to make my street slang a little relevant in here to just spice some things up a little again. But of course we do not only expert into heavy demolition like heavy machinery, but also sports cars. Like I said, we range from Pontiacs to tanks to buildings, but we do not stop there, no way Jose. We basically demolish everything that we can lay our hands on and make some money off of. So yeah, that is basically all of the things that we actually do around here. Like I said, it is a fun job, especially if you are into all of the demo stuff, and it is a lot of fun to just fool around with these things and destroy some cars in the meantime. But of course you will have to take the fooling around part with a bunch of grains of salt, because we do not just fool around here, because this is our job and it is my uncle, his life put into a job. And of course we have to maintain the safety, so we cannot just do whatever we want, because there actually are a lot of rules that we have to accustom to actually start doing things like this. But that does not really ruin the fun because it will always be fun to just destroy something like this and really do not give a poop about anything. So let's see where we can actually take this bus to, and it looks like we really do not have a choice here but to wait with demoing the bus until the new crusher comes in, and that is basically all that we can do right now. So I will just put the bus back, like so, and we can move on to more stuff because we actually have some more cars standing around here that we can use to make some new steel brick or anything like that. At least we can make some cars out of these things that will look like they have been sitting in some scrapyard for like 100 years. I mean, it is not like a lot of cars have been sitting around for that long, because I believe that the first cars were only made around 1880, but I could be totally off on that one, so please someone check my sources and correct me in the comments if I am wrong, because I actually might just be wrong about that for a change. Yes, I know that usually I am very punctual when it comes to my facts, but this time I just do not have the time to actually go and do a fact check for myself, but that will come with age, boys. So talking about that bus, I actually think that this will be the only way to get rid of that darn thing, because there is just too much variables around this thing. So I am just going to drop it down here like some block and hope that when it gets to the end of the pit, that it will be long gone. So of course hopping down here ASAP to make sure that we do not miss any of the action, even though there is no action, so this will not work. So up to the next part of the video, because this is so boring even the bus wants to move on with the video. I mean, can you imagine being a bus and not being able to move? It's like the one thing buses do. Anyway, I think we've been down here long enough. Let's actually skip this part. So we will be going on with the next vehicle, which will be this nice sports car or supercar, whatever you want to call it. I really do not care, whatever floats your boat will be alright, but I am going to be dropping it in this natural sinkhole or sink pit right here and see what will be left of it when it comes down to the end. And I am actually hoping on like a really big explosion on the bottom of the pit, so there will like be smoke and ash coming out of the pit like some sort of bomb explosion or something. That would be like actually really cool to do, I think, at least. So down it goes, and so do we, because I want to see this with my own eyes. And of course nothing happens to us because we are awesome, and nothing really happened to the car. Oh wait, what is that? Oh wow, okay, we just basically dissolved on the bottom of that pit. That was really weird. I mean, it is one of the first times that I have actually used that thing, so I am not quite sure what was going on there, except for the fact that we just dissipated or something like that. Disintegrated, that was the actual word that I was actually looking for. But with all of that said, we will just keep going on, because not a single car will be able to stop us from doing a lot more harm to these cars just for the fun of it. Like I said, it is a lot of fun to do something like this, just because you really do not have to care about anything as long as you have the permission to do something like this. So please, and I am begging you guys, do not just go out on the street and start demolishing cars. So let me be clear that I do not condone that kind of behavior, so let that be clear, alright you guys. But like I said, there is always a bigger fish to fry, or multiple bigger fish, so as always we are just going to keep going until my workday is over for today and I can finally go back home, because even though this is like a lot of fun, it still is like really taxing on your body, because you have to do a lot of heavy work, and I am not really built for that type of work, but that might just be me. I mean, there is always something to do in Roblox, and this is just something that I am doing temporarily to help out my beloved Italian uncle called Mario 0xTbyte, and that way I can make sure that I can keep in close contact with my family. Because in the early years after I just moved out of my parents' house, I was all alone, and I moved to the paradise city of Roblox, and I kind of neglected everything when it came towards family, and I hope that you guys can now see that I am actually doing all of this so I can finish this up and make sure that I tie the end of the ropes with my family and live long and prosper as always, like me Uncle Spock always told me. And I am not kidding, I actually do have another uncle who changed his name to Spock, and he always tells me to live long and prosper, and I literally have no idea what it means because I have never even seen Star Wars. Okay, I am just bamboozling you guys, so stop writing those hate comments, because I am just being a joker around here right now. So leave me a comment if you fell for it, so that I know if I actually come over strong when it comes to my amazing jokes that I always make myself, of course. I mean, I could hire a writer for my jokes, but that would be kind of lame I think, and I'm sure that he probably would not be very good, since he would probably just talk a lot of nonsense, and that is not what I want when it comes to my jokes on my channel, because you know I am very dedicated to the art, so I am down with just doing everything on my own right now. But of course, if you have got some good jokes lying flying around, then feel free to comment them down below. But with all of that said, I am wrapping up the video just like the cars, and I will see you in the next one.